Lines to say farewell to Queen Elizabeth are miles long through London again today.
And we just received an update. The line is so long that new people are not allowed to join it anymore.
Yeah, so joining us now from London, reporter Lauren Blanchard for us this morning. Lauren, good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, sure, Bill. Liz, as you mentioned, that line almost 5 miles when they shut it down a few hours ago. It was to remain closed for at least 6 hours. Some of these folks right here have been waiting already something like 9 hours. At the time when they closed the line, it was looking like it was going to be a 14-hour wait, which is why they decided to calm it down just a little, tell people to stay home at least for the time being. But we have been talking to some of the folks who have been in the line, and the thing we keep hearing is this was too important a moment for them to miss out. Everyone has been in, surprisingly, a pretty good mood, despite being on their feet for hours and hours with a lot of hours to go, as they still have quite a ways until they make it to Westminster Hall. But it's really a moment in history, Bill, Liz, that all of these folks, thousands and thousands, just wanted to be part of.
So, Lauren, you've been on line watch for the last couple of days there. Have you seen any people of note there waiting in line? We heard David Beckham is in line there waiting to see the Queen.
You know, my producer and I are pretty jealous for the BBC being able to find David Beckham. We have not found him in line, unfortunately. I think we missed our chance, but we've been also able to meet a lot of other really cool folks. Some veterans who have shown up with all of their medals, some mothers carrying their children with them, some young kids who have also been on their feet for hours and hours. So just about everybody, every type of walk of life is in this line, including David Beckham. Unfortunately, though, Bill, we did not get to see him.
You know, I read an interesting article yesterday. I think it might have been the BBC, where they were saying that the line is so long, where you're talking about 14-hour waits, where people are standing constantly. And there was actually concern about how were elderly people going to do in the lines, or, was there going to be people that needed medical attention? Have you heard any stories like that?
Yeah, so what they actually have been doing is for people with disabilities, mobility issues, is we have seen where these volunteers will pull some out of line. And when I was able to go through, I also noticed as they would bring in a line separately and help them in. So they are trying to make sure this is as accessible as possible. But there are a lot of folks, even in their older years, who have been standing here and will continue to stand here for at least 14 or more hours. Behind me, I'm not sure, you might be able to see it. There are little benches every so often, and those are a hot commodity, I can tell you. Some folks, when they are able to get up there, there's a little bit of a round of applause for those who can finally take a seat. I've noticed that along the way. When there's a bench, you'll see people sitting on them.
Making a day of it and then some. Wow. What if you have to go to the bathroom? I mean, you got to duck out. Hey, hold my spot.
You hope you're
right?
going with someone, maybe they can hold your spot. And
So is this going to be the situation all weekend now there? I mean, are we expecting lines this long through the weekend?
Yeah, Bill, Liz, so she is going to line state through Monday morning, which means this line is going to run 24 hours until then. There will come a point where they will have to cut it off just because they know whoever's at the back of the line is not going to make it in time before they have to move her coffin to Westminster Abbey. But this is going to be continuing throughout the weekend. Obviously, it's still a work week day, so this line, not sure how it's going to go over the weekend, but obviously there is so much interest. Even with people taking off work, taking the day, just to be able to be here. Some we were talking to this morning got up at 1 in the morning to get in line, and even still, they were looking at 10, 14 hours of waiting.
Wow, that was going to be my next question. What if you came middle of the night?
yeah.
And there you go. All right, Lauren Blanchard live in London for us.
There you
A
go.
truly incredible historic scene there.